Hey, our viewers, it's another Friday, and you know how we do it? Yes, we gather here every Friday and we come to tackle issues concerning how we can build our marriages, and we are always delighted to have you on board. My name is Willie Kinyash, and out there they call me the undisputed now Kipenda Dr. Love, and this is Couples with Show. This is where we write down our love when we are alive. For we don't want our love to be read when we are 6 feet under. Neither do we want our love to be read when we are gone. And tonight, we are going to have a beautiful time together. You know, there are those things maybe before you got married. You were expecting, when I get married, I want to see A, B, C, D. And there are some things people did not tell you about. And so you used to think, when I get married, all that joy I have not been receiving, I'll get it in that marriage. And so we want to talk about some of the things people did not tell you about marriage. And I am having a lovely lady. I tell you, you will love her. She is a relationship mentor and also an author. And she's married. Yes. And her name is Moraa. Hi, girl.
Hi.
How are you?
So fine. How are you?
Good.
Yeah.
Good to have you here.
And how are you?
I am fine, thank you.
You look good.
Yeah, thank you so much. You're looking beautiful.
Thank you.
We have planned this for a while.
So long.
What was happening?
Finally, we are married. It was happening.
Marriage was happening.
And we were getting the content for this day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Lovely. Karibu sana.
Thank you.
Your first time to be here.
Yeah, my first time.
Yes. But we've been out there somewhere together.
Yes.
But here we are.
Here we are.
Karibu sana to
finally.
the Couples with Show.
Thank you so much.
And I'm sure that you're going to write your love with in absence of the one and only Mr. Nelson.
I'm writing it.
Kindly
Tuko pamoja.
say hi to our viewers.
Oh, hello everyone. My name is Moraa, as our host has said, or Mrs. Nelson. Proudly married.
Yes.
Yes, we are in Juja. Naona hiyo hewa imeanza.
It's all right.
Yes, I'm proudly married to Mr. Nelson, and I'm glad to be here today. Yes.
You are an author.
Yes.
Can you tell us more about your book?
My book consists of so many nuggets for anyone who wants to be authentic and to stand out. So basically, that's the title of my book. I love authenticity. I love it when somebody finds who they are and become who they are in a midst of this chaotic environment. You know, people want to be what their neighbor looks like. People want to be what this celebrity looks like. People want to be what someone else has done.
Yeah.
But in standing out, we want to search the authentic self and to live the true value of who you are.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And kindly, you need to get in touch with this lady, and you can get that book. It is a powerful book, and I would recommend everyone who is watching us to get her book. Maybe there's someone who is saying, I'd love to get her book. How can they get your book?
My phone number probably will be displayed.
Yeah.
As we continue.
Yes. Her number will be down there on your screen, so you can call that number, you can WhatsApp her, and they'll be able to deliver that book. Yes, and remember, we are coming to you live from Maxland Hotel in Juja. Yes, they are located in Juja City Mall. They have such a nice facility, and so if you're around this area, you can come here. They have nice rooms, you know. They cook food. Unasikia, yes, hii imepikwa, imepikika. Yes, and they also have swimming pool and a big one. And so if you come with your kids, it's a nice place. And I can assure you that you will be able to enjoy. So, what are some of these things we were not told before we got married?
There's so much to talk about when it comes to marriage. And it's because people don't know how much God has actually invested in marriage. Marriage is God's biggest investment. And I believe so. Why? Because if God wanted to change the world, he would have made the first man he created a principal. Or he would have created a school so he can begin running it.
Yeah.
If God wanted to change the world, he would have made Adam a politician. If God wanted to change the world, he would have even made him a pastor. He didn't even make him a pastor. He made him a husband.
Yeah.
Because he knew the biggest investment he has is bound to be in marriage. Why? People are connected to families. Everyone you see, even an orphan, has somewhere they belong. And that is definitely why marriage and family is very important, because we come from somewhere, and where we come from affects who we become at the end of the day. So marriage is God's biggest investment, and people do not invest in that because they don't know how much value it has in it. That is why we have successful lawyers, successful doctors, successful preachers, but failing in their marriages. Why? They put in 7 years trying to learn about marriage, trying to become more professional in their area of expertise, but they never put in any effort in trying to learn what they can be to become a good partner to their marriage partner.
And so you're saying that we need to make God to be the center stage of our marriages.
He has to be the center, and definitely understanding that marriage affects so much beyond even what we can see, and God was using marriage to change the world. If you want to know how powerful marriage and family is, COVID happened. The only institution that didn't shut down is the family.
Wow, that is true.
Every other institutions shut down, from schools to churches to the powerful, even politics ilihave ku, cheza chini kidogo.
Yes.
But family was the only place that kept on moving on a daily basis. And that is when you know God has his specific heart when it comes to marriage and family.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is a very key point. That all the other institutions, they were closed down.
They were closed
but
down.
But the marriage institution continued.
Remained.
Actually, people ran from all those institutions, and they came back now to this institution. So even the fathers who are not good in coming back home
they had to be there.
They had to be there.
And that is why marriages have been breaking since COVID. They realized there is so much dysfunction.
Yeah.
They weren't present in their homes. They were just busy in the mayhem of other activities around there, but never in the presence of the marriage and everything they need to look to when it comes to family.
And so what happens when a couple comes together, they are married, but they don't make God to be their center stage?
Death. Anything without God is dead. That is what basically the word says. We are spirit beings, and people, this body just carries us. So in as much as we exist in so many things, as long as the spirits, or rather the spiritual area is dead, every other thing is dead. It's just a matter of time for the revelation to come to be, and you realize there is nothing existing in that hole. So you might be there, and of course, because the devil is a liar, he will lie to you, there's something going on, but in due time, the reality will come, there's no life in that marriage. So God, in anything, even apart from marriage, anything without God is dead. Anything. And especially when it comes to marriage, he is the author of that.
Yeah.
You can't do it without him. You're trying to really read a book without associating it to the one who wrote it. Is basically trying to write another book that you can't perform in the realm of its purpose according to the author as he desired. So without God, marriage never works.
So it doesn't matter whether you are a Christian, a believer, whoever, God is the source of everything, of life, of functionality. He is the source. And for anything, especially for marriage, the reason why God has to be there is because you want to sustain it for a lifetime. You can sustain things with your energy for the shortest time, but you'll always get tired. The simple example for us who have carried children, ukimbeba the first minute, they are very light. I mean, utamsikia, hata you can't feel anything, but carry them for more than 5 minutes, 10 minutes, utaanza kusikia weight. You start feeling now, this kid, however not so weighty they are, they will start weighing down on you, and you'll get tired and even place them down. So that is it. Whenever you do anything in your own strength,
within a short time you will wear out. So we need that supernatural being in our lives that can be able to replenish our energy, to keep strengthening us, to keep renewing our hearts, because we lose it. We are human beings. Sometimes we fall short, but when the Lord is in the presence of anything, it sustains for the longest it can. So if you want to do anything for a lifetime, you need God. You can't do it on your own.
Wow. And let's get a bit personal. We are talking about the things that we were not told before we got married. What are some of these things you can say, I was not told this, but I was able to learn it in my own experience, in my own marriage?
Well, I want to now speak on the main thing that I know most of us could also be going through, that I've also found in marriage. I think the managing of the personal differences, the differences you have with this human being. When you're actually planning to get married, opposites attract.
Yeah.
They attract so much. You see someone who doesn't talk so much, and you are talkative. You're like, hey, this lady must be so nice. Yani, she can compose herself enough to never just talk anyhow. She must have control over her life. So you like them because they are opposite of who you are. And of course, somebody who's quiet is like, how is somebody able to express themselves like that? Now, opposites attract at that point. Until you get married, opposites frustrate. Because you're like, now you talk too much. Why? You're used not to talking. So the thing that attracted you to this person is actually now the menace to your flesh. Because you're like, I mean, you talk too much.
Yeah.
And I thought that is what you liked about me at the end of the day. And that's the thing. We always find the things that are not within us very attractive until we live with them and realize we weren't so comfortable with that kind of environment. So for me, I think the biggest experience when it comes to people don't explain deeply, the differences can really bring a very huge gap. And I will maybe put them in 3, especially for me, what I have seen. Number 1, personality difference. Of course, somebody being melancholic and another one being sanguine. Those are 2 very different people. And they will always feel like they want to get attracted to such kind of people. And those personalities always have their own weaknesses, their own strengths. So when you see somebody not being organized, you wonder, why are you not being organized? And you think it's so natural. It's not. The personality that this person has been used to, or rather has come from, knows I can do things at the last minute and still achieve everything I need to achieve. So sometimes it can boil you up, but at the end of the day, we will discuss as we go on. You will learn how to live with it. So that is the first difference. The other thing is the background difference. Of course, we all come from different places. Some even have from ethnic background differences, and you realize there's so much. The way you think is not the way they think. I'll give an example. Yes, for instance, I can come and talk to you, and you realize mimi ninaongeanga na nguvu sana na sikupenda. By the way, in fact, like the way I'm talking right now to you is not the way maybe you have been used to. Yes. Mimi lazima niongee na nguvu. When I'm talking, the louder I am, the more the person is getting the message. That is just where somebody has come from. They know if I haven't shouted, you haven't heard.
Even though
in fact, in the middle of shouting, they will tell you, "Ada bado sija shout." Where I come from, we talk. So sometimes somebody might even get irritated with something like that. I see so much into the negatives, even the positives. Somebody is used to doing something in a certain way, but because you're not used to doing it, it begins irritating you. So even background differences, how you do your things, they might be the right way, but somebody is not used to doing them that way. So that is the other kind of difference I have seen. Of course, people don't talk about so much, but it is very real in marriage. You have to address them as early as possible. And the last one is gender difference, and this is where now the problem is. Now this is where I'll dwell, because men and women don't realize they're actually very different. Even from how we were made, men was made from soil, a woman was made from the rib.
Yes.
So material tulitumiwa kutengenezewa.
Nyinyi mlitumia
Even
nyama. Sisi
mfuka.
mchanga.
I'm telling you, that is even, I think that's why men love that, by the way. We were made from dust.
Yeah.
I mean, even from the material that was used to make us, man was made from dust, woman was made from the rib. I mean, we are
Rib ni
totally
nyama.
different.
Nyama na
Zile,
mchanga.
I know, right? Yeah. And that is why men are rugged, women are refined. The rib is a very nice part of the wale ukula nyama choma wanajua vile inakwanga imejipanga.
Yes.
Ni kutoa kwanza unaweza kula hata moja vizuri sana compared to other parts of the body. And that is why women are so refined. You see how they do their things, very different from how a man does it. Very detailed, very organized. So we are different. And I think now this is where people get to loggerheads, because I can understand where you came from and try to live with it. I can understand your personality. Even we read about them and then we begin to see how to live together. But the gender differences is the hardest part. And that is where I think I want us to dwell. And I'll give a few examples. For instance, men are moved by what they see.
Yes.
Women are moved by what they hear. Even Adam and Eve, the first thing they saw, they rapped walitoa music. I believe maybe the Bible is a summary. Maybe he talked even more than what the Bible says. That is what he did. And even Eve, the first time he met Adam, the first thing she had was words. That is why women lie with how they look and men lie with their words. That is the difference we have, is just the two of us. And the problem would be, you think I'm trying to attract you with my words and you will hear me, or rather, the way I'm looking will move you, yes.
Yeah.
But me, because I'm used to words, I will think when I'm talking the best I can, you're being moved, and you aren't. The same way for you, you think because you're so good at what you love is what you see. So you think maybe by how you look, I am moved by it as a woman. It's not the main thing. I will, of course, but it's not the main thing that touches the core of the moment. So there are so many differences, and I will start by that, of course. And even that's why you even see somebody like David, and many men fell because of what they saw. It's not even because of what they had, what they were told or anything. It's because of what they saw. And that is why Job reached a point where he said, I have made a covenant with my eyes. Because he knows the weakness of any man is what they see. For any woman, it's what they hear. That is always a shindwa. Mbona huyu msichana mrembo ameingia box ya mtu anakaa hivyo. It's what they had.
Yeah.
Their words were too good for them to resist. So we are different. And the gender difference is where we can even try to bring out some of those things as we go on. But I think so far I want to say that.
Now, how do we address these differences now as a couple? How do we come in and try to address these differences that will not make us grow apart? Yeah.
So before we get there, I think on the gender differences, I will still want to delve deeper so that we can get a better understanding of some of these things that even when I talk about addressing them, you will see how easy it is to address them. For instance, I have also noticed another kind of difference in my own personal experience. Men talk for information, women talk for affection. So a man talking to you is not there to feel the moment. He's actually there to hear if there's any information for him to get from you. And maybe you are a man, I don't know even. You know. Yes. You don't just talk to enjoy a conversation. You talk to hear the message.
Yes.
For us women, we process through conversation. So we can talk and talk a whole day, not because we want any solution, but because we just want you to hear us out and to just feel good about connecting with you when I'm talking.
So when we don't hear you out...
Oh my goodness. It's the most frustrating thing for any woman, especially when the man is not able to listen attentively. You can be there, really. But as long as uko hapo, your mind, your eyes are not, focusing on me. Maybe you're doing something else, or maybe I can hear you being interrupted by other things. I'm not feeling so good about it at the end of the day. What I want is to connect with you through conversation. Men process through getting space and having to rest, women process through conversation. A man might come from a very long day and all they want is just to sit down and the last thing is a conversation. But a woman will be so tired and a conversation will bring her back to life.
Yeah.
And that's the differences we have. So when a woman sees a man not concentrating, you begin to understand they're not doing it out of malice. It is just their nature.
But what about maybe this man is too tired? It's not that he's not concentrating, but he's tired.
Exactly.
So
when you
what
begin
happens?
understanding the difference between you being a woman and how you listen to someone and how a man listens, you begin to not take it so personally. When you see them doing some things, you just understand and maybe ask them to be more attentive. The problem is we get to this reality and then get so frustrated and then begin to see maybe this person was not serious with me. It's not because they weren't serious with you. It's just because they are being men. They are being women. We wonder why women are talking so much. They are not being irrelevant. They are not being irrational. They are just being women. We talk, and that is how we process what is in our hearts. And for men, that is why you need to keep distracting these women. If you don't, they will think things that are not necessary, and they will keep talking unnecessary things. So you have to be the place where they can talk and listen to. So for me, I have seen when a man is tired, give him his space. Doesn't mean he doesn't love you.
Thank you.
Doesn't mean he doesn't love you.
You can say that again.
Yes, for men, especially, women get frustrated when they see men come home and they're not giving them that full attention.
Yeah.
They love you. They just need to, rest. Even if ataka chini and you see him moving, sometimes one thing I've also noticed, they will take the remote, keep changing channel to channel. Nothing, they don't want to do anything that is taking their energy away. They just want to process and have their space and rest. So that is the reality that comes in marriage, because people think that we will be loving each other every evening when we come home. Ati akifika tu home, it is, oh my love.
It's kisses and lifting.
It's this. Yes, that is part of life. I do not deny, but what do you expect from somebody? Ametoka mahali, there's a whole lot of work, there's a whole lot of other things waiting and pending and being taken to the following day, has even battled with traffic. And then you're expecting him to come home looking like somebody who's from heaven. I mean,
it's Edman, they have not paid their house rent.
Exactly. So
then
these are the realities.
The kids wamekuja na barua from school.
Yeah. So these are the basic realities people don't get into detail, and especially for women. That's why most of the time women get frustrated more than men. Because men, for them, the game ended as long as they got you. Women, the game began the moment you got her into that house. So they're expecting a paradise of some sort as long as they are in your presence. So when you see them trying to retrieve for space, give it to them.
Yeah.
And allow them. In fact, the more you give them their space, the more they want to be around you when they have that energy. But if you keep on trying to feel yourself around, kujijaza kwa maisha yake, I mean, it will continue putting you guys apart. Yeah, so for me, I think that's one other difference I can say. And these are just examples. Some of these things are even very variable when it comes to who you marry, but there are those general things like those ones. Also, how you solve issues. Men are logical, women are emotional.
Yeah.
A man will not come to talk to you or rather solve issues based on how you feel. Women, most of the time, they are relating with how they feel towards something. Men are like, this situation, what's the solution? We are not here to, you're problem solvers. Even God created you to be just problem solvers from the word go. For us women, it's emotional the whole time. So all the time when we are solving any issue, we are in two different places. I just want you to make me feel good and secure. The woman is just, that's the woman. The guy wants to just find solution.
Yeah.
So that's why people ever get to loggerheads. But when you realize that there's that logical part and emotional part, for the man, you begin to just understand this woman and make her feel secure, as well as you, the woman, try to be logical enough. That is how Abigail won the heart of David.
Yeah.
When the husband, what was his name?
Nabal.
Nabal.
Yes.
Yeah, Nabal.
Yeah.
Yes, when the husband was being killed, or was going to be killed, Abigail did not go to cry to David and say, I will be a widow. The children will not have a father. That doesn't make sense to David, the king. She touched the heart. When you kill this man, your leadership. There's something she said about your legacy of leadership will be destroyed. Again, you as a king, that is not the level you should be stooping low to. In a logical for David. By the way, when I do
a place this, and she's saying, this is a fool.
This is a fool.
You are
and
a king.
And you are a king. You can't be going to the level of such a kind of person and your legacy. You don't have to allow that to be part of your legacy. And that is how David maybe understood Abigail.
Wow.
Because she touched the logical part. And in fact, I'm very sure hiyo kitu ilitouch David sana. That is why even after Nabal died, natural death now, David looked for this woman.
Yeah.
Because that was quite a logical way to bring out the whole situation, and he saw wisdom in her. So even as women, you begin to understand that you cannot just be talking out of emotion all the time. You bring that balance. And that is why God brings marriage, because marriage just represents the full image of God. The man and the woman, the differences you have is just being brought together to represent the full image of God. So God is trying to make you have that balance. So as much as you have been emotional all your life, God now begins to help you see you can also be logical. As much as the man, you love being logical, God helps you see you can also get in touch with your emotions and still live this life like a successful man and a successful woman.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm told that our time is almost up. How do we address these balances?
Oh, this is a whole lot of other process, but I'll give you, all this is all from how I have experienced and I have seen it work by the help of God, and I believe it can help so many people outside here. First is being aware. See, like right now, when you begin being aware that this is how men behave and this is how a woman behaves, you stop having some weight. You start understanding, anyway, the problem is not that there is an issue. He's just being a man. She's just being a woman. That is the first thing. This is how a woman is. This is how a man is. The second thing is accepting. So once you have known, the biggest weight remover is accepting that, by the way, I need to accept this man. And the biggest, but even for the men, because us women, we are very adaptable compared to men. Women, from how we are created, even our bodies, the way they have been created, they are very adaptable. That's why we can even host a whole human being and we get back to being who we are. We still change for that season. We are very adaptable generally, and that's a gift.
Yeah.
That is why we were given to help. Men are not that quite adaptable, and that is why it's very, very more intertwined to women. Men need acceptance. Men don't need you to change them. Men need you to take them for who they are and not the negatives. I'm talking about the things that we are saying here. For instance, if he can't do things in a certain way, as long as things are being done, allow yourself to support his way of doing things. Because we have been given the gift to adapt. We have been given the grace to even adapt. And that is what God has done. So acceptance is very key. The other thing is you have been aware, you have accepted, appreciate them. Why? If I was the same as you, we would suffer so many deficiencies. God is bringing two different people so that you can perform in different ways and bring that marriage to a functional space. So if you appreciate them, you'll begin seeing this person who talks a lot can actually represent me in other places where I cannot actually do that. This person who is so silent is able to do one-on-ones, so she can help me even negotiate with clients because she's not even as public as I am.
Yeah.
So you appreciate them and begin, exchanging. So I'm getting to that. So after you appreciate them, you adjust and exchange, or rather alternate. So I have been aware, I have accepted you, I have appreciated. I now begin adjusting myself to understanding this is how he is. How can I be a suitable partner. The same way for you as a guy, how can I be a suitable partner to this woman who, and most of the time the things we complain about your spouse is what God has called you to actually help them in their lives. So if you're complaining they don't do this, God has helped you see that so you can be their help. And even as men, we've been called to help our spouses. It's not all just about the ladies helping you. There's so much that these women need, and that's why you're the leader. We need leadership. It's a need, it's not a want. We need leadership.
Yeah.
So if you can help refine this woman, you can help them see their weaknesses and become the best they can be most of the time, because men see far, ladies see details. You see far, so you will help them become the far they need to be and give them the chance to grow. So helping is both ways. And no, of course, as we've said, you alternate them. Begin to just know, I'm strong in this, let you be the one who does this. She's strong in this, let her do that. She's weak in this, how can I help her? He's weak in this, how can I help her? So for me, I think that's how I can say you can manage those differences.
Wow. Thank you so much. We have learned a lot. And you need to come back again and continue with this conversation.
Thank you.
So thank you so much for coming. How can people get in touch with you?
Okay, so I think every other contact will be running down here. And of course, on my social media platforms, I am Martha Moraa, just as my name suggests. And hopefully, we will still have all my handles running as we continue.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
And we need to do your love story with Mr. Nelson. Nelson, are you watching us? Kindly, we need to do this love story and know how your journey has been. You need to come here and tell us those differences that you have gone through.
Yeah.
And maybe we can be a blessing to other couples out there.
Get into the details.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, ambia Nelson tunamhitaji hapa.
See you, we will talk.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah.
So thank you for coming.
Yes.
And go with our love.
Thank you so much.
Asante sana.
All right.
Wow, there you go. There are those things that you were not told before you got married. Good for you. If you're not married and you're watching this program, now you know. And so when you get married, you need to accept this person, because the moment you know there are these differences, accept this man, accept this woman, and know this is how they are, this is how they operate. And so the only thing that can help you is to accept. Then continue to do something else that is appreciating them. Appreciate what they do good. I know there is that one thing, they do it perfectly. Don't just see the bad things, but see the good thing. And so appreciate. And the last one is adjust. Understand this person, understand where they are coming from, and you'll be able to enjoy that relationship. So thank you so much for joining me. My name is Willie Kinyash. I'm a Dr. Love, and out there they call me the Undisputed. And we are coming to you live from Maxland Hotel in Juja and Juja City Mall. Thank you so much, and see you on Friday. The Lord bless you, and the Lord bless you.